Rolling Stone.
Hello all. Welcome one, welcome two, welcome three of our listeners. We are glad for you all to be here at this time at the Constant Companion podcast. This is going to be a very special episode today where we share some of our deepest and most kept stories that I haven't shared with a lot of people. I don't know about
Me
you,
neither.
Connor. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like I have a ton of stories about this topic, but I haven't had the opportunity to necessarily share them with too many people. So this is kind of like a first-time experience where I'm actually really sharing all of these deep-kept stories.
Yeah, so if you haven't read the title yet, we're going to be talking about Boy Scout experiences, okay? And if you don't know, what happens at Scout Camp stays at Scout Camp. So this is like an inside look at what happens when 12 to 16-year-old boys get together for a whole week. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be good. I'm going to enjoy it. Connor's going to enjoy it.
I will.
And I hope you enjoy it as well. But I want to start off today talking about a few things that are happening around our great country of ours and the world in general. Okay,
It's a dark time. It's a dark period in American history right now.
It is. And so what me and Connor did, we looked on Google Trends, and we saw on number 6 of most trending right now. This actually makes me cry. This is really hard to talk about. But one of my favorite childhood games, Club Penguin, is being shut down.
Officially. Disney is put down the hammer on the poor little penguin.
Yeah.
Guts just splattered all over the place.
Can you explain a little bit what Club Penguin is, Connor?
I will tell you the little bit I know about Club
Okay.
Penguin. I was never an actual official player of Club Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
I am familiar that it was a game where you could just walk around and talk to your friends, and I believe it was kind of like Neopets. I assume. I'd never played it, but you would walk around, talk to your friends, get together, and you play mini games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite popular. And I think you could actually... Was it kind of like Webkins where you could buy like different toys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You could buy toys. You have a little like furry pet you'd have with you. It's basically like RuneScape, but for kids. And
if RuneScape wasn't kid-friendly enough... You would go to Club Penguin.
With lack of predators on Club Penguin. Well, there could have been more predators.
That.
Yeah, this was a Disney game, so you'd think they'd have some security and safeguards, right, in place.
I would think. Although I do remember on Disney Channel them always like promoting it and everything. It was a big deal for a while.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I remember one birthday. All I wanted was a Club Penguin gift card so I can buy a tuxedo for my Club Penguin guy.
Whoa, dude.
And when I got
I bet he looked good, too.
So happy, yeah. He looked way good. He looked like James Bond if James Bond was a penguin.
James Bond if he was a penguin.
Do you have anything else to share about this? Like, because obviously you weren't as invested as I was in Club Penguin.
I don't share the same nostalgia for it as you, but my heart goes out to the poor little penguins who've been abandoned, who are going to be stuck by themselves forever in some dark corner of the internet that will never be accessed again.
Exactly. But they did say in this announcement that they are going to create another portion of this game for mobile phones and things like that. So it's still it's kind of going to be around, but like the desktop version I think is what they're shutting down.
That makes sense. So they're going to like try to move into the mobile market then.
Yeah. I don't know if it's exactly going to be
Smart
Club
move.
Penguin or if it's going to be some other idea they have, but so that's kind of where it's going. This was really sad because it came out in 2005, and I remember I was like one of the first people playing it,
Mm-hmm.
And so it lasted for a good 12 years now.
Did you know Neopets is still around, though?
No way.
Yeah, you could still go on there and check on your Neopets right now, and they're probably starving. But that's the thing about Neopets is, like, they would actually tell you if your Neopet was, like, hungry, starving, near death. I don't know. I don't think they could actually die, but they can starve. And they have all the old games still up. They still do the Neopian Times, which is like this newspaper thing they do, and they write articles and things, and they have a comic section, and you can submit artwork to it, and they still update it like monthly.
Oh my gosh.
Just crazy. Neopets is so dead now, but back in the day, man.
In relation to
It was
that,
the hot
do
spot
you
on the
remember
net.
Tamagotchi?
I do.
Oh my, are those still going around? Is that still a thing in like middle school?
I think so. No, it's not. I'm
Nope.
just kidding.
It's dead. We
For sure.
trend killed that a while ago.
Dude, I love Tamagotchis, though.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever play the Pokemon one?
There was a Pokemon one?
It was called Pocket Pikachu. Sorry, I just am remembering the memories. And he could run away. I don't remember if your Tamagotchis could, but he could literally run away, and you would have to shake it until it came back. And sometimes it would say Pikachu came back, but I remember mine ran away until the battery died, and he never came back.
Oh gosh. Get your money back.
Dude, they were cool little guys, though, but they only lasted a week, and then you're out of money.
I have another trend that I want to talk about real quick.
Please.
This is someone I didn't even know existed until just now, okay? Did you know Miley Cyrus has a sister named Noah Cyrus?
No, but doesn't she have a brother?
Maybe it's her brother. It looks like a girl.
I'm sorry, I gotta say, my friend is playing videos in the background. He's watching cringe compilations.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. It's just totally unprofessional right now. But no, I was not familiar. Because I remember there was this movie that came out that had... No, you know who it was? It was the Jonas Brothers' youngest brother, and then Miley Cyrus's sister, I think, was in it. It was like this anime movie, and they did the voices for it. It was like a... It was really weird.
Is it like Ponyo or something? Ponyo? Ponyo?
Ponyo, dude.
Ponyo!
You're right. That's what it was. Ponyo.
I've never seen it. I was just looking at her profile.
That, yeah, they did the voices for that.
Okay, so that's her claim to fame then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's like what brought her out. But I didn't even know she existed. But now she's like a famous singer now. She was on the late night show with Jimmy Fallon.
Was she really?
Yeah, just like yesterday I think it was.
Dang, dude.
And so yeah, I hope she doesn't like turn out like her sister though, you know, but I just thought that was cool.
I really hope so. I hope she learns a lesson. I hope Billy Ray really keeps her in check.
Yeah, but Billy Ray doesn't even do anything to control Miley. He just lets her be.
That guy's got an achy breaky heart.
Oh my. And who's Miley's boyfriend again?
Wasn't she dating Thor's brother?
Yeah, what's his name?
Or something.
Come on.
He was the guy from Hunger Games. Gale.
Liam Hemsworth?
Oh, shoot.
Hemsworth.
Something Hemsworth. Bob? Greg? I don't remember.
But they got back together like last year too, right?
I think so. I remember reading an article about it.
Man, this just turned into like gossip time. But
dude, this is.
Why did they get back together?
Dude,
she's gross, he's beautiful, and now they're together.
She is gross, I gotta say. She's disgusting.
Yeah. Whatever. This is making me even sadder than Club Penguin.
She should have just stuck with that wrecking ball, dude.
No, gosh, no. That wrecking ball needs a break.
That was a good boyfriend for her.
Did you hear also one final trend? Is that Emma Watson is now super pissed at her agents because she did not get the role for the girl in La La Land.
Really?
Really, yeah.
Because Emma Stone got it.
And I think Emma Watson would have been much beautifuler than Emma Stone would have been. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I love Emma Watson. I love that they got her for Belle in Beauty and the Beast, though.
Yeah, that's good. I approve of
But
that.
Emma Stone's pretty good. Like, Emma Stone almost seems like she would fit better into that role for La La Land.
Maybe that's why I didn't like the movie, because she fit so well in it.
Did you see it?
Oh, yeah, I hated the movie.
I didn't see
Horrible ending. Music was mediocre, but apparently everybody loves it.
I guess just because it's Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, power couple, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
They
with
really
that.
pack a punch.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're so lame.
Sorry, these videos are just making me laugh.
Gosh, you need to pay attention. This is serious stuff here, and you're just
I know.
making fun of
Okay.
it.
Are there any other trending topics you would like to cover?
That's all I got right now. One, never mind. I'm not going to talk about it now, because this might not happen. So, let's, do you have anything else to talk about? Anything new in your life?
I heard, my life has been crazy. I've had a bunch of people texting me recently in the past couple days. Personally, nothing new to really report on, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, well, I started on the video, but I've basically been getting components back together for, like, the new animation. Because I had to go through and find some of the old pieces I used, like the faces and everything we used for the other animations.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got those together, and I've been cutting up the audio so that I can make it quicker. Because, like, if I do the full story, like a lot of the other animations I did, I had to cut out parts just to make the animation smoother.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going through the audio and making sure that I'm not cutting out any good parts, just like the little uhs and it and like weird little like parts where we trip over our words and stuff.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, dude. Anything for you. Sorry, guys. No, I haven't had an animation in a while. I promised you for 2017 I was going to focus. We're focusing.
I think
Focusing
Mortal
right
Kombat's kind of taking over your life right now. But
It was today.
I got an update. On January 27th, 2017, a young woman was driving a car.
Okay.
And she slammed into the back of my car. Her car was totaled.
What?
My car's
Wait,
got
really?
like a few dents and like the undercarriage's pretty torn up, but it isn't too bad.
Dude, that's crazy. You showed me that video of your car, but I didn't realize that's what happened.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she was texting while driving. So
So it was her fault.
Oh, 100% her fault. Her insurance is paying for it.
Heck yeah, dude.
But my plug is don't text and drive, or else you will die. See that rhyme?
Yeah, that was kind of a rhyme.
I'm trying here. But yeah, so that happened. That was kind of stupid. And then also,
But you're alive.
Huh?
You're
I'm
looking
alive,
good
yeah.
still, too. I'm looking at a picture of you right now. It looks pretty good. You look like you're in good health.
When was this picture taken?
Well, now I see you live. Now you cut the video. You
No.
look okay now.
I look okay. Okay. Yeah, my neck was sore. I should have told a police officer that, so I maybe could have got some more money or something, pay for my medical bills or whatever.
Was there anybody else in the car with you?
No, just me and just her.
Were you singing in the car?
I was just a guy standing in front of a girl and asking if she was all right.
You're a good dude.
No. Do you not remember that line from Jerry Maguire?
No, I don't watch Jerry Maguire.
Oh my gosh. I'm just a girl standing
I
in
love
front
Tobey
of a
Maguire,
guy.
though.
Oh my god. Okay. You're done.
Speaking of good guys who do good things, you remember the Boy Scouts?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All those kids were so good, especially if they got their Eagle Scout. Did you ever get your Eagle Scout?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you do for your project?
So I did, because in Minnesota it's really cold and really snowy during the winter. And there's a lot of people that don't have the appropriate clothes. And so I worked with United Way and did a winter's clothes drive. to help get those that were less fortunate the clothes that they need for the winter in order to survive. So basically, I saved lives for my project. It's pretty good.
That's gonna make mine sound so much like so much dumber. Because you know what I did?
What?
I went to the animal shelter, and the dogs were complaining that they didn't have any places to eat. So I built the dogs a few picnic tables.
What, you built the dogs picnic tables? What does a dog picnic table look like?
I'm just kidding. But I did build picnic tables for an animal shelter so that people could sit and eat while their dogs played in the dog park.
Wow. I'm so
but the
proud
joke
of you.
always is that I built them for the dogs.
Well, I think
joke.
you are saving lives with your project too, because if the dogs didn't have a place to eat and the people didn't have a place to eat, they would get very irritated and probably would bite each other and eat each other. So, I think you really did save lives there.
I think you're right. I really think you're right.
I'm just trying to help you out.
I enjoy having that perspective on it. It makes me feel better about my project.
No, yeah, it was a good, worthy project. Did you pass your Eagle
I did.
board of exam or whatever?
I did.
Oh yeah, then
I got
you're
it.
good.
I actually got my award like a few days before I went on my mission, I think.
Wow, I'm so proud of you.
And they flew a flag over the White House, over the Capitol building in honor of me and probably like 10 million other people. But that day, it was in honor of me.
Really?
I had this thing sent in to my congressman, and he sent it to Capitol building, and then they flew that flag in honor of me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you.
Dude, I was honored.
Yeah.
People had no idea.
So what year did you get yours then?
It would have been 2013, I think.
Okay, I think we got it around the same time. No.
Probably.
No, I was like 2012, 2011.
Dude, were you one of those kids who was like a goody two-shoes and like got their Eagle Scout? No, I guess you wouldn't because it was 2012.
I don't know if that's the right date, actually.
I always hated Boy Scouts who were such Boy Scouts when it came to Boy Scouts. And I remember we went to scout camp one year, and there was this little skinny kid. I think it was Enoch Sincata, Wes. Sorry, my friend Wes is here. Anyhow, it's this kid, and he had gotten his Eagle Scout while he was still like a deacon or something. Or like he had gotten his life while he was a deacon. So he's like 14 or 15, and he was already getting his Eagle Scout.
Oh,
I was like, man, you must not have any life whatsoever if you're getting your Eagle Scout at 15.
That's amazing. So I'm just looking at my Eagle Scout card, and it says I got it in August 11th, 2011.
Wow, dude, you were way ahead of me with that. I gotta say.
I think I completed my project when I was like 14, but I didn't actually like do the reviews and stuff until I was like 16.
So
15.
you were one of those kids then.
I was, yeah.
Wow,
and you just
dude.
made fun of me.
I'm sorry. You are cool though.
It's all right. It's all right. So this kind of leads into our topic today of some stories we want to share from our scouting adventures, our scout camps, different things like that. Do you have any stories you want to share, or do you want me to start?
I have a kid I want to talk about. I will not name any names.
Okay, just use a fake name. That's
I'm
what
going to call him Pyro.
That describes every Boy Scout ever to be a Boy Scout.
Yes, but this kid never learned his lesson. So, okay, here's how it goes. I'll start with the first moment that I realized that he could potentially be a danger to my well-being. It was one of my first, well, maybe my second scout camp. I think it was my second scout camp. Anyhow, he was only like a deacon at the time. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the terminology, he was only like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. So we go to this camp, and you know how you always have the camp store, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this kid, I gave him the task to run over to the camp store because I needed some matches. And matches are what, like a box for like 50 cents or something?
Sure.
Anyhow, so I send him up there to get, and he comes back and he brings me like $3 and some change. And I gave him a $20 bill.
What the heck?
I'm like, what the heck did you spend it on, dude? He said, well, I didn't think that we needed that many matches, so I thought that I'd just get you a fire starter instead. It was only $17. I'm like, what are you talking about? A fire starter? It was like flint and tinder. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing. It's going to take forever to even start a fire with this. And you just wasted all my money on this? And I didn't say that to him because I was too nice.
Yeah.
But I was just like, this is retarded. And anyhow, so he's just like, no, it's cool. And I'm like, fine, you know what? Just keep it. Are you sure you don't want it? No, keep it. So I think he kept it. And he just kept playing with it. Anyhow, another camp out, we're out with him. He decides to he would always start these big fires and things, but one day he decided, me and my buddy went into a tent, and we're just shooting the breeze, talking about stuff, and all of a sudden, we just hear, ah! And we're like, what the heck was that? And we hear everybody freak out, and then we unzip our tent, and we look out, and this kid, Pyro, fell into the fire. He was walking around it, he fell into the fire, and then his dad had to pull him out of the fire. Okay. Obviously, he's starting to develop a relationship with fire.
Yeah.
Then, later, we're on another camp out. At this point, we're like 16, 17. And, we had our bishop he was our scoutmaster. For whatever reason, he was very cautious. So, even though we had camped all over the place at this point, he only would let us camp out in his backyard. So, we're camping out in his backyard. Pyro brings a few friends with him. They all sleep around the fire, and his friends' sleeping bags in their sleep catch on fire. So then, nothing really happens further other than that, except years later, after I got home from my mission, I start seeing these Facebook posts about Pyro. He's since moved out to Idaho. And he starts posting these posts about how he's this big hero. Well, he doesn't say he's a hero. He keeps saying, I'm not the hero everybody says I am, but I appreciate it. And so, like, his family is praising his action. I'm like, what are they talking about? What did he do? So then I look it up, and my friend Wes finds this news report. Apparently, he called in a forest fire that he stumbled upon in the woods of Idaho. And he called in and he was like, yeah, there were some drunk kids up here and they were playing with some fireworks and they started a fire, so I thought I'd let you know. I think they were drinking, they were kind of dancing around and doing stupid stuff, but I caught them. It's good. Anyhow, this fire, totally destroys, I think it was called the Fire of Table Rock. It destroyed somebody's home and everything. Anyhow, so Taylor was the one who called it in. Oh, I'm sorry. Pyro. I apologize. Pyro called it in. Then, what happened afterwards was, I think this was a few months afterwards. It was Christmas, actually. I didn't really think much of it. And I walk up, Pyro's there at church that week. And I'm like, hey, how's it going, Pyro? And he's like, could be better. And I'm like, why? What's wrong, dude? Aren't you this big hero now? And he's just like, they pinned it on me. And I said, what do you mean they pinned it on you? The fire at Table Rock. And I was just like, no, don't tell me. He was the one who started the fire. And he called it in and blamed it on some other people. And he's like, so yeah, I'm either going to have to do 1 to 6 in the slammer, or I'm going to have to pay like $500,000 in restitution to the state of Idaho.
What?
I know. I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. And he's like, yeah. He was taking it pretty well, though. I was just like, no, I could have seen this coming a mile away. Why didn't I, intervene? We even joked about that being him, and then it was so, messed up when we found out it was actually him. So if you ever see any scouts playing with fire, they could be that Pyro one day. So think before you act, scouts.
You didn't finish the story. Did he pay $500,000 or did he go to the jail?
I don't know. He hasn't been to trial yet.
When did this happen?
I found out Christmas.
So it just happened recently.
So the fire happened back in the summer, but them pinning it on him didn't happen until recently.
Jeez.
But it was
Crazy.
just very ironic.
Does he listen to the podcast?
I do not believe so. I sure hope not.
Good, good. Oh my gosh, that's a good story. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Gosh, all right.
Sorry, that was a long story.
That is all right. That was impressive. I was very happy to hear that.
But let's go to it. Let's talk about a lighter subject or lighter stories.
Okay.
It's a very heavy subject.
I got one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
His name is, what's a good name? Robert Jr., okay? And me and him were good friends. And we grew up together and yada, yada, yada. Well, one camp out we were building snow forts and snow shelters to sleep in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I know that may be a foreign concept to you in Pennsylvania, but what you do is you just build up all this snow into a pile, and then you dig out a little inner layer for you to sleep in. And then
that's cool.
Inside,
like little igloos.
Yeah, inside. And you put a hole at the top, and then you light a candle inside the igloo, and it stays at like a relatively like nice, warm degree. Okay?
Okay.
So while I was digging my snow cave out, I was using a metal shovel because there's some ice in there, so I was chipping away, and I flipped it back out. And Robert Jr., quote unquote, sticks his head into my snow cave as my shovel is coming out. Okay?
Whoa, bad move.
Uh-huh. My shovel hits him in the mouth. I knock one tooth out, half of another tooth, and
half of another tooth?
most of a third tooth.
Holy cow.
And his mouth split open and everything too. And he screams. He screams at the top of his lung. And he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Nobody can control him. And then all of a sudden he finally just stops. And he's like, what the heck just happened? Luckily, we were camping at the home of a doctor. And the doctor was able to take him in, position his teeth, so he kept his teeth in the holes where they were at, so that they'd be able to like try to save them, I guess, or like put them back in later. Well, they never get back in, okay? So what happens for the rest of his life is he has to wear this retainer thing with a tooth on it that he puts on and half of another tooth so that he looks normal. So he doesn't, but he forgets to wear it a lot. So he just has a missing tooth.
Does he still do it to this day?
Yes.
You're kidding.
Do what?
How do you feel about that?
Does he still do what?
Wear the retainer.
Yeah, he still wears it.
Oh my goodness. How do you feel?
It's his fault.
Dude, you knocked it. You ruined that kid's life.
No, I didn't ruin his life.
Dude, if I had to wear a retainer for the rest of my life, I would have blamed it on you.
Oh my gosh.
It was your shovel in your hand.
Oh gosh. But I'm not responsible because it's like the person who ran me into the back of the car or ran my car in the trunk. I'm not responsible for it. Okay?
That's true. Okay.
It's like he's the guy coming at you from the back. Okay? So
I see.
His fault.
That is pretty dumb to put your face in first when you know people have shovels in there.
Oh yeah. It's pretty. It's all right. He's a good guy.
Was it a good, like, clean hit, or was it a really, like blunt, like,
it was a
facial
blunt hit.
trauma?
Facial trauma hit. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I was just making sure.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty painful.
It was facial trauma. I think I cut part of his lip too, part of his gums.
Good work.
So I guess I was pretty strong as a kid. But it seems like when I'm able to knock someone's tooth out.
Speaking of teeth getting knocked out by a scout, I have a story for you.
Okay.
So back in the day, we used to help out this kid named Pete. Pete was one of those kids. You always had that one kid in Scouts who had like ADHD or was just really hyper.
Yep.
Anyhow, he was kind of like a devil child.
She just went from ADHD to devil child.
To devil child, yeah.
Good for you.
But anyhow, he would come with us, and we took him to scout camp one year. This was actually the same scout camp that the whole fire starter thing happened. And we had this rival scout troop that we couldn't stand. They made us mad. They were actually from the York Ward, and they used to always... We didn't like them because they would swear, and we were troop... What were we, Wes? 341? Troop 340? We were troop 340. I don't know what troop number they were, but we weren't going to swear like those dudes. And they would walk around with their shirts off like disgusting animals, and we were just too classy for them. And at night, they would sing terrible songs about women, and they would clap their hands, and they would sing this song, and this is how it went. Big butts, aw yeah, big butts, big boobs, aw yeah, big boobs. And the thing was, there was like a woman who was like one of the scout leaders there with them, and they would just sit around with the scout leaders and like clap and sing these songs, and we thought it was absolutely despicable.
Are you kidding me? And the woman was all right with this?
The woman just didn't care. But anyhow...
Oh my gosh.
So they were a bunch of deplorables.
Yeah.
In the words of Hillary Clinton. And so one day we decided we were going to challenge them to a log chopping competition, because it was the only way to prove who was truly more manly. So there we are the next day. We're around you know how you always have the big log that you chop the pieces of wood on?
Mm-hmm.
So we set it up, and we put our log on there. And I think I don't even think we challenged them to a competition. What happened was I was chopping wood. They came over to laugh at me because I like missed the piece of wood or something.
Oh no.
And then all the other scouts like started surrounding, and it just became this log chopping competition. I don't know if you were there for this, Wes. Do you remember this? But anyhow, we keep going back and forth, and Logan goes, and like my friend Logan is just like, he's just chopping them down left and right. Then all of a sudden, Pete comes out. Remember the ADHD kid? He picks up the axe, and he just starts charging, and he charges past the log and towards York Ward. And he's just like, ah! With the axe, and they kind of like, what the heck? And then we're like, Pete, no, you can't actually do that. And then Pete just throws the axe on the ground and walks away. And that's what ended the log chopping competition. But anyhow, at the very end of scout camp, Pete was still going crazy, and one time he was going to attack my friend Logan, and so he starts chasing like down my friend Logan, and his shirt's like half up his body because he's running so fast. My friend Logan didn't clip his nails all week, so his nails are particularly sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes Pete, and my friend Logan accidentally scratches him like all the way from his chest down to his stomach. I mean, it was a good like cut, like it started bleeding. We thought we might have to call an ambulance. Anyhow, Pete took it like a man, and that was the last we ever saw of Pete until, man, all these have bad endings, I gotta say. It was in the news a few weeks ago. Pete was arrested for something really weird, actually. Apparently, he had some friends come over to his house, some little kids, and he took a pair of pliers and just started ripping their teeth out with pliers. That's the last I've heard of Pete.
You're joking me, right?
No, I just remembered because you were talking about teeth, and I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about Pete, that weird kid who ended up ripping little kids' teeth out with pliers.
How old is he?
He's like my age, maybe a little younger.
And he's ripping kids' teeth out. So, luckily they got him now before he started actually killing people, okay?
Yeah.
But I would want Pete on my team if I was in a fight. He seems like a really good player.
Yeah. Just give him a hatchet or some pliers and he'll just go to town.
All right, I got one more.
Okay.
Well, I might have two more depending on if the discussion goes that way. All right. This guy's name is Jones Jimmy John, okay? We'll go with that.
Sounds good.
And he had a knife. This knife was loose.
Hmm.
This is going to be a short story, okay? It's just like 5
That's
sentences.
fine.
Okay. This knife was loose. This knife came unloose. His finger was trying to fix the knife as the knife came unloose, and it sliced his finger straight open.
Oh, I can imagine.
He runs around like a chicken with his head cut off. Luckily, we live in Rochester, Minnesota with the Mayo Clinic there, and so the best hospital in the world, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our scout leaders was a doctor. And he stitched him up right then and there. Didn't take him to hospital or anything. He didn't even give him anesthesia. He just disinfected it, stitched it up, sent him on his way.
Good man.
And that's all I got to say about that. I don't want to say too much about Jones Jimmy Johns because I could talk all day about him.
Do you have any really fun stories or really cool adventures that happened while you were out at camp?
One time we were able to save our scout leader.
Really?
Yeah. We were hiking in the Black Hills, so it's kind of by Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I've been to the Black Hills.
Oh, you know it then.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. And one of our scout leaders, named Bob, but he spells it with a lowercase b at the beginning, when everybody else spells it wrong. I don't know, he's funny. But he has diabetes.
Oh, no, dude.
And he started, zoning out. His diabetes started going crazy. And eventually we had to have some of the troops carry him up this, 500-yard, maybe 1,000-yard meter hill.
Really?
And we had to carry him up it because Mount Rushmore was up at the top of this hill. And there'd be, people there. And so we had to carry him up it. And then we had to carry his pack and then all of our packs up the hill.
Whoa.
And then we had to get an ambulance. Well, we didn't have time for an ambulance. We had to rush him to the hospital in another van. And he was passing out and he was, whatever. But we saved him. We saved our leader.
Dang. I gotta say one thing.
Okay.
That dude got beaten up.
Wow.
You like that one?
That was good.
He got beat up by his diabetes.
Right.
But that's cool. You guys saved him from the diabetes.
Yeah, we saved him from the diabetes. It's very dangerous, almost at the level of cancer. But I'm proud of him. All right, I got some questions to ask you real quick.
Go for it.
But you say what you're going to say first.
No. I want to hear your question. Your question will be better.
Okay. Will it?
I hope.
All right. So I got a couple questions about your scout camp in relation to what you did there, and I want to see if it compares to mine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, how often did y'all talk about girls at scout camp? Did you talk about girls a lot?
I think maybe from time to time,
Uh-huh.
but I don't remember at scout camp really talking about girls that much.
Yeah.
Did you?
I just feel like there was an obsession within our group of talking about girls at night or something. We'd always just lay in bed.
Dude,
Oh, I
that's
love this girl
true.
so much.
That's true.
Mary Ann is just the greatest person ever. And we just talk and be like, oh, I just want to marry her. We're 12 years old and we're talking about marriage. Now I look back, I'm like, what are we doing? And now we can't
That
even
is true.
get married.
Although weird, for whatever reason, Boy Scouts are so girly when it comes at night.
We are.
I remember this one time, me and my friend Logan at scout camp, we used to always do this thing at night. And we would go into our tent, and it was always covered in daddy long legs.
Oh my god.
Every night. And we turn on the light, and we had a water bottle that we would use to smash all of them. And then we would go back to sleep, and then about 5 minutes later, we'd turn on the light, and the whole thing was crawling in them again. And so Logan and I would stay up all night making jokes, and he would share with me all his deepest, darkest secrets. Like this one time, he wrote this song, and he only had one line for the entire song, but we thought it was hilarious at the time because we were 12.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how the song went. Shopping for my favorite underwear. Get out of my way, sir and ma'am. And then we would just start laughing. And we would just repeat that over and over. And then, for whatever reason, we thought it would be funny to start singing Roxanne by the Police Are you familiar with that song?
Roxanne.
Yeah. So we would open up our tent and into the entire scout camp, because there was all sorts of scouts and kids around. We would just scream out into the night, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. And so we would always get yelled at, and somehow, I don't know why, but our scout leaders never got mad, but all the other scout troops from around, they didn't know where it was coming from, and they'd be like, shut up, blah, blah, blah. We thought it was hilarious. And then the next morning, this guy who was in the tent next to us, he decided to shame us. And he's like, you know what? I'm getting real sick of you keeping me up at night because I just hear you guys singing in your tent going, underwear, underwear. And then we just felt so bad after that we just never did anything like that again.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was still fun.
That's great. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, there's women equality in the world, okay? People are protesting for it and everything, okay? I remember at scout camp, as compared to, like, girls' camp, at scout camp, we'd sleep in these tents or sleep in these, like, little tiny things with nasty beds and rats everywhere and everything. The young women, when I went to young women's camp with my mom, because she was, like, a young women's leader, they had air conditioning. They had running toilets. They had showers. They had food.
They had food?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, dude.
I remember we'd starve at scout camp.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. You know what's funny? For years, I always heard about how crazy the pranks were at girls' camp. And then that same scout camp, the one with the log chopping competition against York Ward, you know how they always would do the big, like, fireside at the end?
Oh, yeah.
So we did this big fireside, and then after the fireside, somebody realized that one of these scout troops had gone around to every campsite and had pranked all the other camps, and they tied tripcord around all the trees around their campsite, and they filled their sleeping bags with pine sol. And we were the only troop that didn't get pranked. But York Ward did, and we were so happy.
Were you the ones who did it?
No, we did. Well, as far as I know, we didn't do it. But maybe somebody did in our troop, and I just never learned about it.
Or maybe they just enjoyed your singing so much they decided not to prank you.
They must have. They may have been afraid of us, too. They probably thought we were ghosts.
Well, you had Peter on your side.
Yeah, at the log chopping competition, they probably got scared.
Yeah. Like, we're not messing with him. He'll chop our heads off.
We proved our dominance. And that's what it's all about, right?
It really is, yeah. It really is.
Dang. I could go on and on about scout stories. I've got so many.
That was a good time. Do you have any questions for me?
Did you ever have any scoutmasters who you couldn't stand?
Oh, yeah.
That made you do stupid tasks?
There were some, like, self-righteous... Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm judging people. I'm trying not to judge people as much anymore. Yeah, there were.
That's always a good thing to do.
There were. There's some, like, self-righteous ones that are like, oh, you guys need to go to bed at this time. Don't stay up at all. You know, you can't even talk at all. Okay? You don't even do anything. Don't take showers until the last day. Yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I did. Thanks for bringing that memory up. I appreciate it.
Because I remember this one time, even though I actually liked this scoutmaster, although my friend didn't. But this one time, it was one of my very first campouts, and he had his son there who was like a renowned Eagle Scout throughout the entire stake. Anyhow, they were like a Scout-centric family, I swear. Anyhow, just real quick, he had us do this thing where we had to go find wood for a fire, but it had just poured rain the whole day. So we go out there, and we're with this guy who's like, I don't know, he always seemed like he was at least 25, but he's probably only like 17 or 18 at the time. And we're walking around with him, all like kind of following him because we didn't know what we were doing. We were brand new scouts, and he's just like, just always look under the trees for dry firewood whenever there's rain, blah, blah, blah. And we're going through every piece of wood. We cannot find one dry piece of wood.
Mm-hmm.
So finally we go back and we report to our scoutmaster, and he's like, you know, I am really disappointed in you guys. you are scouts, and you could not find a dry piece of wood? He's like, Matt, what are you teaching these kids? You got to be an example to them. Come on, let's go. So we go out with him, and we are out for like an hour looking for dry firewood. And then finally he just turns to us. He's like, I got to apologize. There really is no dry wood out here. And we're just like, oh, really, you think? So, I mean, there wasn't anything terrible that he ever did to us, but it was like those scoutmasters who either took it too seriously or were way too enthusiastic about it. Like, I remember this one time we had the scoutmaster who designed these scout t-shirts for us, and they were super lame. Like, everybody else had super cool scout t-shirts, and he gave us these ugly, because you have your first class shirts, and then you had your second class shirts that you would wear around. And we were the Donut Patrol, okay? And they were lime green shirts, and they were super ugly. And they had donut, like this crappy picture of a donut on the back. And we didn't even come up with it. It was Pyro and his dad who came up with the idea. And then I remember after, like, a few years after that, I went to the thrift store, and there were, like, 2 of those Donut Patrol shirts there that somebody had given away because they were so ugly. They probably got rid of them as fast as they could.
So was that your troop? Like,
that was like our nickname. We were the Donut Patrol.
I think we were the Cobras.
We did not agree on this. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like,
did you ever have to do the troop, like when you would line up for the dining hall? Would you have to do the stupid troop like chant or motto or whatever? Yep. Do you remember any of yours?
No, it's like, we are the Cobra Patrol. We are the best. Don't mess with us because you are not something. I don't know. We are the Cobra Patrols.
What ours was.
Don't mess with us. If you do, you'll get punched with our fist. I don't know. Gosh. I can't remember.
That's pretty good. I don't remember what ours was, honestly. I wish I could. I remember something about being like another year we were like snakes or something. Or maybe that was a youth conference. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Scouts, man.
It's good times. Good times. Are you going to be a scout leader one day?
I hope not.
I think you'd be a good one.
I will not come up with... I'm a terrible outdoorsman.
No, you're not. You don't need to be a good outdoorsman to be a scout leader, okay? You just need to love the kids and know how to have fun.
Very true. I'll tell them all these stories to scare them.
Did they ever tell you like really scary stories around the campfire? Or is that not a thing?
Not really.
Okay.
We usually talked about stupid things around the campfire or politics.
Our leaders would we talk about politics a lot, like on the car rides there or whatever, but our leaders would always tell us this scary story about this guy with a limp leg that like eats people in the woods and is an albino and works at Taco Bell. Did he have a name? Jim. And it scared the living bejeebers out of us because we would always hear these rustling in the streets and be like, oh my gosh, it's the stump leg guy coming at us. He's going to eat our souls and rip out our hearts and give them to the deer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not good. It's not good.
I do remember taking some of the younger kids out on a snipe hunt. Did you ever do snipe hunts? It's this made-up thing.
Oh!
You just...
Keep going.
Yeah?
Keep going.
No. That's really it. And you just tell them what to look for, and then they just go looking out in the forest for it, and it's completely non-existent.
Yep.
Did you ever get pranked with that?
Yep. 100%.
Dang, dude. Did you find it?
Yep.
That's always good. It's always nice to prove them wrong.
I used my geocache to find it.
Dude, we used to geocache too for scouts.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Every now and then. I think we did it on like a scout camp or something. I think there's a merit badge for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I should work for that one now. I'll try to get it.
Although I do remember this one time Wesley, I wasn't there, but I felt bad for him. They did a bike trip down the C&O Canal, and Wesley's bike, wasn't it like broken the entire time?
The brake was shot, so I basically pedaled for 26 miles with the brake on.
The brake was shot, so he pedaled for 26 miles with the brakes on.
Oh my gosh. I feel so bad.
And everybody was like way ahead of him.
That's horrible.
Like, what is wrong with him? Yeah, he wasn't even the out of shape guy there. And Pyro was like, who's kind of out of shape, was like cruising by and was like, "Why are you having such a hard time? Huh? Why are you having such a hard time?"
You know what? I didn't have any brake problems on my mission, but people would always, all my missionary companions would always get ahead of me and be like, "Why are you going so slow? Let's go faster. Come on. Stop being a lazy bum." I'm like, "I'm going as fast. I'm sweating driplets here of quadrupes, and you guys are telling me to go faster? Heck no. Heck no.
Dude,
I'm not going faster. I'll go
Mission.
slower just to defy you."
it's very true. So many times I did things in defiance on at scout camp and on my mission.
It's because people wouldn't know how to correct you.
Mm-hmm.
This just got deep. Wow. Let's keep it happy.
Vicious. Well, I think that was a pretty good discussion. What do you think?
I think so too, yeah. You have anything else you want to add, or no?
Keep remember the scout motto, or is it the pledge, where you're like, the scout is thrifty, brave, trustworthy, reverent,
Clean. Hungry.
Oh yeah, the stupid and hungry. You always had that one scout at the end, and you wanted to punch him in the face.
Yep. Well, that was me too, so.
Really?
Yep. Except it's funny if I say it, but it's not funny if anybody else says it.
Did you guys sing songs in the dining hall at scout camp?
We didn't sing. Other people sang.
Yeah, same here. We didn't sing, but
I didn't know the
words. My favorite were the kids who were super enthusiastic about scout camp, and they would actually like work at the scout camp, and they knew all the songs, and they would start dancing on the tables and stuff.
On
like
the
that
tables?
scene in Lord of the Rings.
Oh my
with
gosh.
the hobbits dancing on the table.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember the time they brought in that pine tree, Wes? And they were singing, "Pine tree, pine tree, pine tree." Yeah, and then one of the guys who owned the Pyro's buddy who owned the scout store came and ate all our food. He was this big fat guy who worked at the scout camp. And he came and sat at our table one time because Pyro invited him over. And then he's like, "You gonna finish that?" And you're just like, "No, this is powdered eggs. So, yeah, feel free to finish it for me." Food always sucked at scout camp.
And they'd only give you like a 1-plate rule for like your whole entire crew.
I know. It's like, it's not even good in the first place, but whatever.
No, it's not. Well, I really feel better because we talked about this. It's really brought back some really good memories about scout camp and about injuries that did not happen to me but happened to other people. And I hope we can laugh at this later on and laugh at other people's expenses. So,
yeah.
You know, it's really great.
I hope those guys who might be in jail one day don't mind.
Or are in jail. What?
Yeah, some of them are. Whoa, that's some sweet music going on.
No, that's
Sorry.
good. That's a perfect
That
way.
was our outro music.
That was it. Remember, always follow us on Twitter, Instagram, whatever else we do. We don't post at all on those things, but still follow us.
You can subscribe to us on iTunes.
There's also, for those who don't have like an Apple product, you can just download the Stitcher app and find us on there. You can download podcasts that way. So do it. We love you always. We really want the best for y'all. If you need anything, we'll be there for you.
We will see you all next week.
Peace. God loves you.